You had plenty money, 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Hello beautiful peeps, it's Natasha coming at you with another video. And as you can tell by the title and the intro, this is my collaboration I've been talking about and been so excited about with the beautiful YouTube Glam squad. And so please make sure you check out some of the other videos. Once the playlist is compiled, I will make sure I have it in my description box down below for you, and then check me out on social media because I'll be tweeting and sharing pictures on Instagram and that kind of stuff. So make sure you're checking out all my social media handles. I'm so excited. I think I'd be a little too excited to do this. I'm like wired beyond sound right now. I mean, I had the whole look planned out, and then I just started grabbing like random crazy ton of stuff because I was like, I want this and I want this, and so I'm really excited to do this. So it's gonna be a full face look for Modern Day Jess Rabbit. So her face is pretty much standard, but we know girl would contour and highlight, right? Jessica Rabbit should be all up. She's full diva. So I'll do a little bit of that stuff. And then the wig, and I'm gonna put false lashes on for this look. You know, I don't usually use them a lot, so I'm not gonna do that on camera because, you know, we need to see that. But yeah, let's do this. I'm excited. Alright, let's get to it. Let's prime. Prime time? Is it prime time, guys? I am wired. So Jessica Rabbit has very pencil drawn on eyebrows, like much thinner than what I have, and I'm not getting rid of my eyebrows for this. And I've seen different tutorials and stuff where you can use like a glue stick and glue your eyebrows. I don't know how I feel about gluing my eyebrows. So I'm gonna go in with a cover stick by Essence, and this is in the color True Nude. And I'm going to go right over my brows with this, and then I'm going to put my foundation and everything on top as well. And then that way it'll really like fade out my brows. My brows are really, really dark, so it's going to really fade them out, and then I can just lightly pen in what I want her brows to look like. This stuff is so thick that it's really gonna, it's probably like glue. You're really just gonna pile this on, like it feels very cakey. It's okay. So I'm gonna go in with my huge L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and I'm in the color N1-2. And normally, lately I've been using this little guy. It's just a flat, like kabuki style foundation brush that I got off of eBay. But I think I'm going to use this guy that I used to use. It's my e.l.f. brush. It does apply more product, and because I do want to go a little bit heavier on the foundation than I normally would, I'm going to use this as flat brush and then my foundation. I'm going to go to town. And yeah, I'm gonna do my brows last. I really want this just to like have a chance to tone down a little bit. There's a lot going on here right now. So I'm depositing most of the product on my forehead. And then what I'm going to do is, because I still have quite a bit on here, I'm going to like stipple it over my brows. And try and blend that out a little bit. So I'm going to conceal. And then I'm going to set my entire face with powder. So I'm using just a loose, like a big fluffy powder brush. And I went a little crazy. You might see powder everywhere. So because I have a lot of powder on my brush, I'm going to start right away on my brows. And just start by packing that powder on. I feel like I'm giving my eyes a chance to set for a second. I normally do my eyes last, first. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna give them just a second, or a second. So I'm actually gonna go in with my Shade and Light palette, the eye edition. And because she is, I mean, I am making her into a real girl, like, you know, a real boy, Pinocchio. But I normally, when I shade or contour, I normally use like one of these browns and the neutral. But I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of this gray color first, and see where that takes me. Because I don't really, like, she does have a fuller face. Depends on the pictures you look. Some pictures she's very angled. In other pictures she has a very full, voluptuous face. So I'm putting that color right underneath my jawbone. Nope, cheekbone. Jawbone will be lower. And I'm just blending it out a little bit. I'm going to blend it out more when I do like the rest of my cheeks and stuff. But I want to deposit that color there to really give that shading, because I want her to be, I'm thinking Modern Day Jessica Rabbit would be full out diva, and she would like contour and highlight all over the place. You know that. You know. And I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm really just working on the hollows of my cheek. I'm going to do the same with the line of my jaw. I'm actually going to bring that up a little bit, because I know some people normally highlight this part, but she was very uniformed in shape of her face. So she did. I'm bringing this down more onto my nose than I normally would, again because she is a character. She didn't really have a human looking nose, I'll say, you know? Alright, so I'm going to move on to the eyes. I'm going to jump all over the place. I know, I'm sorry. But I'm going to let that just sit for a little bit, and then, like, that's kind of like my base. And then when I, because when I highlight and blush and stuff, I'm going to use those colors elsewhere, so I might as well do that all at once. Do you know how I go? And Jessica Rabbit, her classic colors are red lip and purple on her lids, kind of like her clothes, purple and red. So I'm going to use some of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So kind of like this section here is what I'm talking about using. Basically using the darker shades on the out, working your way into, now some of the cartoons that I see of her, she's one solid color, purple. Others I see some kind of like gradient effect with different shades. Again, I'm doing Modern Day Jessica Rabbit, so I'm thinking Modern Day Jess. She wouldn't just use one color. Right? Right. That's what I think anyways. So I'm going to go in first with Bedrock, which is a gray, a matte gray from Makeup Geek. I'm going to put that in my crease. And I'm going to do pretty high. I'm going to take a more tapered blending brush and I'm going to go in with the color Masquerade, which is one of her foil shadows. And I'm going to start building that. She's got that perfect kind of U in the shadow. It's not really blended, she's not angled, she doesn't have a smoky eye, or she's not winged out. It's very much the shape of her eye, but my eye is more almond shape. So I'm going to try and actually exaggerate up a little bit more. Can I go up in like a horseshoe shape instead of following the natural crease of my eye, if that makes sense. So I'm right now just focusing on depositing the color where I want it. If you were worried about depositing the color and that you wouldn't get it exactly where you want it right off the bat, you can use a smaller brush or edge out your shape using a eyeliner brush. So once that is where we want it, I'm going to take the color Rebel, which is not a purple. It's actually a really cool color I recently came out with, and it is, I want to say, it kind of reminds me of denim in that it's a bluish purple with a gold shift. So you think of old school denim, kind of reminds me of that. So I'm going to do with that, I'm actually going to use the same brush that I used to apply it because I kind of want it to be a very blended gradient look, and I don't want you to have a definitive line in your crease, because if you think about how her eye opens, it's all purple and she has very like doughy eyes. So I'm going to take that color, Rebel, and then I'm going to start that a little bit lower than where I have that purple. And then follow the same curve, but again, just a little bit lower than where we had our last color. And that's how we're gonna make this look work. Just keep doing that horseshoe kind of motion. Once you think you have your eyes even, comme ça, then we're gonna go with the next color. And for the next color I'm gonna use is Pillow Talk. And this is another shade from her spring, I think it was just 2016 spring summer launch. So I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm going to do the same thing, but really focusing more on my lid, and then pulling that color down. Did I just put that on my nose? I sure did. I sure did. All right. Normally at this stage I would pack the color on, but because I really want to keep blending each color into each color, I'm really making that kind of gradient blended look, I'm gonna keep using the same brush. My original thought was to blend the colors on the brush before I even packed it on the eye, but then I wanted to have that dimension, so I figured I would just do it this way and get the exact look that I wanted. Just keep popping color all over my face. And once you get most of the color off, then you can just kind of make sure everything's nice and blended. You get that really nice big cartoony arch. And then I'm going to use Phantom, which is one of her duochrome eyeshadows. I'm just going to use a flat shader brush. I'm going to pack that just right directly on the center. Just right where you, if you think of the center of a horseshoe, that's where you want that color. And if you want, you can take your brush that you used and just buff out the edges a little bit. You still want that concentration of color, so I wouldn't go right over the center, but you can buff out your edges. And then you've got your purple eye pretty much down. She doesn't have a lot of liner or anything like that, so I'm not going to do any of a liner, like a big liner, but because I'm going to do false lashes, so I'm going to use the matte black from my Shade and Light palette. Just to really get into, I might even use a different, a really thin angled brush. I'm just going to use it to get right under my lashes to fill them out, and to give me a line for my lashes. So I'm not going to go beyond my lash line, I'm just going to follow my natural line. And get right into the lashes. And if you could see, I'm not dragging the color out, I'm just packing it right into the lash line. It's the best way just to deposit the color exactly where you want it. You can already see how it just really fills your lash line in. Nothing dramatic, nothing like, wow, she's got liner on, but just enough to fill in that lash line to really give the volume behind the false lashes. I'm gonna do my brows. Now, they're not as covered as I want to be, but they are very cartoon-ish like. What I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna accentuate the top line of them and draw that out very narrowly. Slap those on. I'm rounding out the edges a little bit because, again, the very cartoon round eyes. So other than like the mascara and all that kind of stuff, just gonna throw on a coat of the They're Real mascara from Benefit. I don't know why I haven't really focused on the They're Real. Now, if you don't like false lashes or you're not comfortable in wearing them, you can always just really load up the mascara. If you have a really good volumizing mascara, really load it up and focusing more on the your outer lashes to give that fan look. I'm just going to jump off camera to apply those lashes and then we can finish the look. Alright, so false lashes are on. You can stop playing with them. I just use the e.l.f. I think they're like everyday lashes. So I'm going to finish this look by doing my cheeks and highlight. And then of course my lips. So I'm going to use the color Cherry from my Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette to do with the apples of my cheeks. And then pull it back a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way back because she really doesn't have a lot of cheeking in pictures. However, she would if she were modern, so. I'm going to use a little lo-fi just to under where I put the blush. And a little bit ahead of where I did that contour. And then I am going to take the NYX Strobe of Genius palette, my e.l.f. blending brush, and I'm going to take, because she is very kind of like pinky, her skin tone, so I'm going to use this pink one right here to do my cheeks. Highlight my cheeks. I'm going to use that to highlight my entire nose. I'm going to put that kind of on top of my brows a little bit, or like at the very high part of it. I'm going to take the purple shade in my finger and place that on the tip of my nose, my cupid's bow. I'm also going to use that for my inner corner highlight. Just going to pop it in there. And now for the lip. So I'm going to use my Essence Lip Liner in Femme Fatale to line my whole lip. I'm actually overlining a little bit for this look because she does have a very pouty mouth. And where I have a point, I'm going to overline a little bit and curve it at the top. Giving that heart shape curve. And then I'm going to take the NYX Liquid Suede and Kitten Heels all over. I just, when I pull that out, I just take a little bit of the product off because you can get quite a bit of product on this brush. And because we know her, she's not one dimension, and those cartoon characters always have that kind of like highlighty spot. I'm going to use a cream highlighter. So I have the e.l.f. shimmer palette, and I'm going to dab that on kind of this part here of my lower lip and up top, just kind of at the peaks where you would normally see a cartoon character have that light highlight, that white highlight. I'm going to use a white cream. To get that out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fluffy powder brush, and then I'm going to use this blush from Tarte. It's Enthused. It's one of their Amazonian Clays 12-hour blushes, and this is very glittery. I'm going to just put that all over where I have my blush. Yeah, there. Wow. And this is the look for that I kind of thought about for Jessica Rabbit. I don't know if you can see my shirt. It says goodbye. Goodbye. Alright, well, I gotta go record my lounge single for my YouTube channel. So, do you wanna come see it? Do you wanna come see? Alright, let's do this. You had plenty money, 1922. You let other women make a fool of you. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. You're sitting down and wondering what it's all about. If you ain't got no money, they will put you out. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. Now if you've been prepared 20 years ago, you wouldn't be a wanderer now from door to door. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here, give me some money too. Get out of here, give me some money too. Why don't you do right like some other men do?